Prince William and his wife are on stop number 2 of their Asian tour. Much of the attention was on Kate, but for a different reason than usual.
Seth Doane reports on the royal visit to Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia.
Before taking this trip, all of the journalists covering the royal couple were handed detailed itineraries, and we all circled today. Kate's first overseas speech.
Thank you very much.
Whether it's talk about her wardrobe, talk of pregnancy rumors, or the talk of how she's handling the royal spotlight, there's no shortage of talk about the Duchess of Cambridge. But we've hardly heard Kate talk much at all. Today, the Duchess selected this hospice in Malaysia to give her first overseas speech.
This is a very special place, and so much is already being achieved. It has been wonderful meeting the patients, families, and all the staff here.
Her roughly 2-minute address, narrowly focused on her charitable works, was heavy on pleasantries and at times almost timid. She showed she's still finding her footing as a public speaker, representing Queen and country.
Providing children and their families with a place of support, care, and enhancement at a time of great need is simply life-changing.
For Kate, whose life changed from rural commoner to royal duchess and international diplomat, life at the lectern is relatively new. In November of 2011, barely 6 months after they were married, a reporter's question about famine in Africa left her flustered.
And it's really still ongoing, and a huge amount still has to happen, with hundreds of children still malnourished at the moment. Hopefully we can do as much as we can, really.
A few months later, at her first solo public event at the National Portrait Gallery, she did not speak publicly at all, but public interest only intensified. In March, Kate gave her first public speech, which was also at a children's hospice, and less than 3 minutes in length.
I'm only sorry that William can't be here today. He would love it here.
Today's speech overshadowed much of the rest of the day's activities for the royal couple, who started the morning at a war memorial for British soldiers in Singapore. Then it was on to Malaysia for lunch with the Prime Minister and a tour of the hospice before her big speech. Kate does appear to be getting more comfortable, but today's speech was a safe one and showed she's not taking many risks as the entire world watches on. Today she discussed an issue quite close to her, though many may have paid more attention to how she performed than what she actually said. For CBS This Morning, Seth Doane, Kuala Lumpur.
Can you imagine the pressure she must feel, Nora? Really?
Well, that's what I thought. Enormous amount of pressure, and she's clearly very lovely, and she's focusing on children's issues.
And I think when you talk about the children, you could never go wrong.
That's right. That's right.
She gets an A++ from me.